Hi everyone, this is Gail from Gail Julie Makes. I hope you're all well. Now I've just treated myself to 2 new stencils and some alcohol inks because I've got to 600 subscribers, and in fact I think I'm on about 613 now, which is awesome. So thank you so much for that. So I've got the 2 stencils here. I've got the one on the left is a Stencilgirl one by Carricker. Wanted this one for quite a while now, and this one's called Create Face. And then I've got my fave, which is Trish Mckinney. This is one of hers that I hadn't got yet, and that one is Wisteria Vine Small. So thank you so much, guys. I did think I'd treat myself because it's, like I say, it's a bit of a milestone, and I really appreciate all your support. So let's keep going. And I've got my new Brilliance air styler. This has got a cool setting on it, so I wanted to have a bit of a go with this one today. Don't know what I'm going to think about it with the work on canvas, but we'll see. So the new colours that I was talking about in the alcohol inks, I've got Moss, and then I've got Valencia. These are all Ranger ones, by the way. And then I've got Pitch Black, which I'm really curious to use. And I have also got Monsoon, if that will focus. Yep, there we go, Monsoon, which is a nice blue. Now, I had somebody ask about the canvas recently. It's just a shop bought one that's already primed, guys. So I've literally just taken it out of the wrapper. And I am going to be using Forever White by Lavinia stamps as a white alcohol ink. Now, I was going to start out with a blending solution because I like to use the less pungent option, but I'm getting quite low on the blending solution, so I decided to opt for the Isopropyl first. And the one I'm using in the UK is a Surgical Spirit, basically. I think it's about 91 or 95% alcohol, so I'm just getting that all laid down on the canvas, just flooding it, because we need the alcohol inks to be able to move around without sinking straight into that porous surface. And now I'm bringing in my Pitch Black by Ranger, and I'm just gently squeezing the bottle to get that on. And, you know, I like the fact that already with that one you can sort of see the sort of almost like orangey red tones coming out of it. It's very versatile, this one. If you kind of continue pushing it just as the one colour, it will bring you so much vibrancy and so many different colours within. And now I'm going to put down the moss. So I'm just basically going to sort of blend these together. So I'm not really laying them in any set way, but I am making sure, obviously, I'm going over the top with a bit more isopropyl if it looks like it's starting to sort of sink into that canvas, because I want it to keep moving. Now I'm adding the Valencia. Again, no rhyme or reason, just getting it down there. I just thought this would be a really nice colour combination for the actual face stencil. It's just what came into my head when I was thinking about that particular stencil. Now I'm just going to lay down the Monsoon as well, and then we're going to sort of swish it round, see what we get. I am constantly adding to that isopropyl as well, just to keep everything moving. And then moving it around just until I'm happy generally with how it looks and I can position my stencil. So obviously I can position it in an area where I think the colours work. And I was initially a bit worried about the fact we've got a very straight edge, but I kind of like the idea of this being like almost like a photo with an edge in, that's got a bit lost in the forest maybe. So I came in with my cool air dryer, and I was actually quite surprised at how much it did move it around. It's very powerful on the cool setting, actually. So what I decided to do is go around the edges with the cool air dryer, but not so much the actual face area. So I'm going around the edges, moving those a bit more, make them look a bit more natural, and then just being very careful on the face area because I don't want to blow everything around too much. So I think what I did end up doing was just putting it on the lowest sort of, you know, warmer setting, just to make sure that my inks didn't move around too much on the face area, because I liked where I placed the stencil. So I did come in and use my heat tool briefly just to finish off the drying, And obviously I've taken the stencil off there, and I'm just finishing off on the lowest setting of the heat tool at a bit of a distance, you know, just to finish drying it off on the canvas basically. So my thoughts at this point are it's definitely looking like a photo now, and I'm very obsessed with the idea of being lost in nature at the moment. That seems to be coming through in a lot of my artwork. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe this is a photograph that's been dropped, it's in the forest, or maybe it's a photo that's in an abandoned house that's being gradually taken over by nature. So I've got my Trish Mckinney stencil here, and I'm just going to lay it down, decide roughly where I want to put it before I start getting the isopropyl down. So just to confuse everyone, I did actually go for alcohol blending solution at this point. I think I just keep swapping over basically. So, you know, you'll see that as I go along. I'm either using the blending solution in the big bottle, or I'm using the isopropyl in the fine tip. But there's really not that much in it, to be honest, guys. It's just the pungent smell of the isopropyl that puts me off. So I'm bringing in some different colours now. I thought I'd bring in Patina and Rust, because I felt they were appropriate for what the piece of artwork was actually about. You know, that connection with you know, things that we've made, and then them rusting, that sort of thing. So. And then obviously again, just moving those inks around the plate, adding more blending solution as we need it. And then I bring in Eggplant, just for some darker areas. Obviously I can bring the black back in, but I do want contrast from the main picture, the actual portrait. So Eggplant seems a good choice. And then I bring in the white, and I just love the way this sort of instantly moves outwards, you know, pulls out. It's really, really quite an interesting look. So I decided to keep that section in my big part of the stencil as I'm laying it down now, because I think that, you know, that's really, really liking that effect. And then I just come in again with my heat tool on a very low setting, and, you know, quite far away from the stencil for this, just so it doesn't end up melting or warping the stencil, or, you know, causing any problems with the canvas. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the video then, guys, is speed it up for you, and I'm not going to narrate it anymore because you can pretty much see what I'm doing. But obviously here I'm just adding ink through the stencil, and if I feel I still need to move it around a bit more, I do the same with the blending solution, just put it straight through. And you can kind of alternate between drying it and, you know, adding more as you're going along. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the final piece. What I've actually done is some areas that were kind of just standing out a little bit too much that I noticed. I've kind of blended them in, sort of pushed them into the background a bit more. So I've got areas like this, and there were a few dark areas here that sort of really took over, I thought. I've used some Brilliance Moonlight white ink, and I've basically just laid my stencil over and got a little bit of this on a sponge basically and dabbed it through the stencil. So that Brilliance Moonlight white is great for that. It just sort of pushes things back. I've also, I don't know if you can see it, I've done a little bit there. You can just about see it, sort of blending it in a bit to match that a little bit more. A little bit detailed down here. It's picked up a really nice area at the bottom there by doing that, because I wasn't happy with that bit. It was a bit too dark, so it's almost like it looks like a bit more detail of a dress now, maybe. So yeah, I'm much happier with that now. So if you did like this video, do please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, just click my profile picture top left there, and then hit the bell on all notifications, and that'll let you know whenever I've got a new video coming out. Bottom left is another video that I think you might be interested in, so do go along and check that one out. And I just want to say one more big thank you, guys, for all your support. It really means the world. So have a great week crafting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.